Well, welcome back to the second round of the finishing video. Let me do a recap for you. First, the airframe was sanded, 320. And then we got 4 coats of dope on it now. And we're going to do the tissue. And the tissue's put up with the grain running lengthways. Now, this is a good opportunity for me to get rid of my scrap silk span because it's not open bay. I can use small pieces. Well, I got these 2-foot squares of K&S silk span that are 50 years old, so we're going to use it on this. I've been using it on fuselages and things like that, and I've shown silk span videos, how to silk span, but this is part of the finish. In order to achieve a good finish, you need to kind of follow all the steps in sequence. So here we have a sequenced opportunity. So I've got the tissue just laying on the wing. We're doing the bottom first. Normally I use Windex. I don't have any. This is just straight water. It'll work fine. We just damp this out. You notice that it all wrinkled up because it's relaxing now. So I'm going to pull this one. Remember, these are just 2-foot squares. And we'll get all the wrinkles out of this. And like right here, see that the wrinkles won't pull out because it's not wet enough. So I just add some more water. Come on. Still not wet enough. This video here won't be as long as the one that I did yesterday. This will only be an hour. This playlist can be found in courses. This is a finishing course. I get all the air bubbles out, all the wrinkles. Now, if you guys remember yesterday, I thinned out my dope. Well, I'm going to thin it again. Now, we're basically putting this tissue on with thinner. Hey, Craig. I need my X-Acto so I can cut this notch here and get this wrinkle out. See, this step here is really crude. I mean, there's no skill in, if you follow my steps, into putting the tissue on. And we haven't done any dope yet whatsoever. We're just getting all the wrinkles out of it. Just water. Make sure that you can see what I'm doing. I see a lot of people struggle with this. This is just the easiest thing out there. You'll notice I put two pieces together. I tore the edge. There's no straight line. It's all torn. Yep, it'll be covered completely everywhere. You want to do a foam wing like this, especially to hide the grain. That's all this is doing, is hiding the grain. This thing will be like a surfboard when it's done. Keep working the wrinkles. If you can't get them out, add more water. You want it to relax. There it is. There it is. Now for the compound curves, just take a pair of scissors or razor blade or whatever, and we're going to section it. We're going to got a bunch of reliefs in it. Open bay wingtips are easier to do than these solid wingtips because this is a pretty tight turn. Okay, now let's see. Can you see what I'm doing here? We're going to add. This is my dope from the other day where I added. This is still my original cord. So this is mostly thinner, but I'm going to fill it up again with thinner. What this does is it penetrates the silk span. goes down to the substrate and locks the substrate from the back side. Of course, then we're going to rub it in. I don't think there's such a thing as using too much thinner. I dug out my Robart incidence meters. We're going to use that along with my Wixie, and I'm going to bolt a plate into my drill vise. We're going to bolt the motor into that, zero that plate, put the fuselage in, put the wing in, use the incidence meters on the wing, and there'll be a lot of jockeying it around. It's not the normal way that I do a built up airplane. I do the point to point, but this is going to be super hard to do point to point, so where I can't draw my lines and line it up on the bench. Just slather this stuff on. It gets 3 coats of dope like this. Which will be standing between coats here. 320. I know some guys sand down to 600. I can't see using 600 at this stage. You got to have some tooth. And 600 makes her pretty slick. So we're pulling the paper down. I'm going to rub that in. Another perfect job. It looks easy because it is. Simple, simple, dimple. It just takes practice. Now, because I'm gonna, when I do the other side, that the tissue will wrap around the complete leading edge, we're gonna just tear it, pull it just past the center line of the leading edge. What this does is kind of, makes an envelope for the wing. You got to tear it. You can't have straight edges, though, otherwise you'll be able to see those lines. If you tear it, when you sand it, those lines will feather in. Okay, that line is, let me show you that so you see. It goes right there. You see how ratty that looks? Just dope it down. Just dope it down. Okay, now the trailing edge. And you do a fuselage, even a built-up wings, the exact same way. At least I do. Don't add any dope until all the wrinkles are out of it. I do mean all of them too. Because once you lock it down, you're stuck. Okay. All right, let's put another coat on this. It's not really, this is just one coat of dope on here. This stuff is so thin. Because if you remember in my sayings, dope is glue. It's not paint. It's classified as structural adhesive. And you guys that are into this nitrate shit, nitrate is to put fabric onto metal. Butyrate is to top it. So we're not using any metal, so you don't need nitrate. I would say for the last 50 years, my airplanes have only had butyrate, no nitrate. I did the nitrate trick back in the 70s, but it ain't no good. A couple of reasons why I need different thinner. It smells bad. I don't know. You just don't need it. Get the hair off of there. So it took 25 minutes to do one panel. I don't suppose that we should go on for an hour doing the same thing, because all you have to do is repeat this process 3 more times. And then, of course, the flaps and that. But we're getting close to finishing this thing. I'm gonna put the dope on it, sand it, then 3 coats of this dope, sand it, sand it between coats, then 1 coat of just about straight thinner sprayed on the whole wing. And that'll lock the paper down real good. And we'll have a decent substrate. Hopefully I don't need a ton of paint to cover this thing. I don't want to cover. Yeah, I want to flip it over and get the other side. But I can't do it until this is a little drier. So that's my demonstration for today. I'm hoping that you guys get something out of this. These demonstrations, they take me a lot of time and a lot of money. We were talking today about doing edited videos. You know, all that does is add more time for me to. I'm not a movie maker. I'm a model airplane guy. I didn't want another hobby. Come on, dry. You won't let it fully dry, no. I've got to let this dry enough that I can flip it over and get the paper on the other side. This is a foam wing. It'd be pretty hard to warp foam wing. Not to say you couldn't do it, but we're almost there. I'll flip it over and get the other side going, and then I'll end the stream. We'll do the other side of this. Celebrity goobin. Okay, we're going to have a seam here in the middle because it's longer than 2 foot, so I want to tear the silk span across the grain, not with the grain. So it should look like that. Then I get the shiny side up. Come on now, don't give me any trouble. Don't give me no trouble. and a brush hair under the silk span. That's a disaster. You can't sand it out. I mean, you can, but you end up down to the wood. There we go. There it is. This blade is super dull. It'll be fine. Okay, another piece of tissue across the grain. And it goes tear to tear. Oh, let's get it on the right side here. Yep, this is the right way. It'll be fine. You know, I think the reason a lot of people get wrinkles in their covering jobs is because they don't realize that the silk span doesn't shrink. Not one bit. Anybody tells me different is full of crap. How you can tell that is get a piece of silk span, cut it 1 foot square. See if it's still 1 foot square when it dries, which it will be. If it's 11 1/4, I'll kiss your ass. Okay, come on now. Make it happen. I happened to be looking on Outer Zone today, and I saw the Jack Chic Spitfire, because we were talking last night who's the most prolific builder. And when I was a kid, Jack Cheeks had a new model in the magazine every month. At least it seemed that way. And there's 27 of them on Outer Zone, and I know he's got more. But the thing with Jack's airplanes, they were all the same, basically the same airplane, which is true for all these. They're all giant Noblers. How many ways can you put a wing and a stab and a rudder together? One. But I got to thinking today, I might try to do some, I've been building the same things over and over and over again. I might try to do my own warbird. Completely from scratch. Of course, all the good ones have been already done. Spitfires, P-51s, Hellcats, Bearcats, Tomcats, they all been done. But there's a couple that I think I could make a Super Tiger 60 work with a rear exhaust, side to rear exhaust. It'd be a pretty good size fuselage, but what I thought about doing was taking a gallows kit, the formers, they're a scale model, and sizing it up to fit a Super Tiger 60, using those formers and stringers and stuff. There we go, finally got it. And just building something off the wall. Be a 16th planking and 1/8-inch sticks with some bulkheads. Get over to my store and pick up a t-shirt, because they're cool. I don't know how long they'll run them. SPD Dauntless, huh? Now, when you pick up those shirts, you got to make sure that you're in the right spot, because some of them are printed on the front and some are printed on the back. Look at the picture. And what this does here, it forces the dope through the tissue and locks it to the substrate. We're 42 minutes in. So it looks like this project takes 2 hours to do a wing. But I'm not going to do the whole wing. I'm just going to do this one side. We'll call it good. You guys have seen me do this enough times. But I wanted to include it with the finishing series because so many people, maybe somebody new comes on here and would like to see how the whole job is done. I resanded those leading edges this morning, made them more blunt. They're 7/8 radius instead of shit, they were 1/2 inch radius before. No good. Now pulling it down, overlapping the seam on that we did on the bottom. Just tearing it off. Okay, go here. Still on my original pint of dope. Keep adding thinner. I'd hate to even think when an airplane would weigh if you just kept adding dope after no thinner. It'd be a turd. She gets pretty heavy doing it my way, using lots of thinner. This thing is encased, completely wrapped like a Christmas present all the way around, sealed. Well, I'll be glad when the days get longer. I mean, they're starting to now, but sure don't seem like it. When I was a kid, it seemed like it took forever to get through a day. Now they just, we're done. No, I was going to say I was looking at that Jack Sheik Spitfire. There's a picture of Paul Taylor, Jack, and his son, Prop Buster, out in the backyard. I can see my tent in the picture. It was kind of cool to run across that picture. Okay, that's it. I just got to do it again on the other side. We're not going to do that on this video. I'll do that off camera. You guys have seen enough of this. It's not rocket science. Just a thing to keep in mind is don't put any dope on it until you get all the wrinkles out of it. And that includes open bay, especially open bay. You want to get all the wrinkles out before you put any dope on it. And you want to go around the outside perimeters before you start filling in the center. And of course you want to use the paper towel to force the dope through on the first run. And this is pretty thin stuff. I mean, it's been thinned and thinned and thinned. It's probably 80-20 now. I will do the other side off camera. Tomorrow's video will be sanding. Well, we might do fitment. I don't know. We might glue it together. I'm not in a race with anybody, so it doesn't matter how long it takes. I got till June to get it done. Yep, got till June to get her finished. It'll make its contest debut at Brodak Father's Day weekend. I can't believe I didn't build a PA airplane this year. And another thing I can't believe, my Simply Blues airplane was from 2023. And how I know that is I got pictures in my phone for that. So, I mean, I got a few airplanes that I can get together pretty quick. We got the Carumba on the wall. We got the Viper, the orange one, Simply Blues. We got the June RXL. I got my Monado. You know, I got plenty to fly in Classic and Nobler and the Tucker. So I'm not hurting for airplanes this year. 52, so we got 8 minutes to kill. Or I can end it now. Up to you guys. What do you want to do? Yeah, I got enough. I got plenty of silk span here to go around. This was a pretty good use for this tissue foam wings. Yeah, maybe. They're kind of dorky though. If you think of Thunderbolt's a guppy, that thing's a big guppy, big old round dog, short, stubby wing thing. Matter of fact, that wouldn't be hard to do because I got the wing cradle already set up, so that the wing would be built all in one piece. It would be let's see, yep, it would be 60-inch wingspan. I got a 48-inch. I got a 48-inch wing cradle, so that the wing can be built from one tip to the other with 6-inch round wing tips. So that would make it 60 inches. 48 and 12 is 60. It's got plenty of cord on it. I could do a sheeted, built up sheeted wing. Then I'd have to build a fuselage about that big around. That might work. We might do that. That'd be something different. Jim Lee did one and his flew okay, I guess, for what it is. Oh yeah. You'd have to cover it with coverall though, because you can't get silk span to go around that thing like that. I know that for a fact because I couldn't get it to go around on my shoestring. But I could get it done somehow. Yeah, then I could fly it in fun scale, stunt and fun scale. I'll have to look in my aviation book to see what kind of catches my eye. Sticking going on there. It'll stand off. But that's it. That's how you do this. Get the covering on. And I'll do the other side off camera. If you get anything out of this, please be sure to subscribe and ring the bell for all notifications. I found that I think it's like 72% of the people that watch this aren't subscribers. And it sure would help me reach my goal if you just hit the subscribe. And you can ask anybody on here. I hit every topic you can think of in building. And all this stuff that I do here is all convertible to RC. Everything. The only thing I don't do on my channel is bolt-in servos. I run a bell crank, but it's the same airplane doing the same thing. Pretty loose. But this thing is picking up weight. There's nothing I can do about it though. It's gonna be what it is, I guess. Yeah. Alrighty. Like, subscribe, share. I'll see you tomorrow. Fair winds, tight lines. See ya.